put together a project for living design for the Office of Sustainability. So what we did was we created 14 letters because there are 14 students in our class, so essentially we were able to create one piece per person. So what was really interesting is that you have 14 individual design students that are coming at this with their own individual ideas, with their own approach, and kind of with their own angle on what they view to be sustainable. One project with 14 design students creates 14 completely different pieces. So I can take you through each individual piece, starting with the S at the beginning here. Pallets are a really big issue on the university campus. So basically just repurposing this pallet to create actually a wine rack. So this can then eventually be reused in someone's home as a functional piece of furniture as well, which is really quite interesting. And then this one here, the letter U, was constructed out of Metro newspapers. So again, really dealing with the issue of disposable journalism, in the sense that it's made for one day, it's handed out for one day, and then it's disposed of right away. So, and then a really beautiful piece. These were all hand woven out of Safeway bags. So, you know, all of us, when we go to the supermarket, we're getting tons and tons of these bags, and they all end up kind of just either in our home or in a landfill. So this was an industrial design student that kind of took it from a more constructivist approach. And actually what's interesting is that this can be pressure can be added to this, and you can actually crush the cans and add more eventually. This letter A was hand constructed out of the chipboard that goes into constructing new homes. This one was mixing some clothing with some plastic bags, so again, the idea of fashion as being disposable. This one here was designed to be the letter N, and it's actually a table with a chalkboard functionality on the top of it. So it can be used in someone's home, it can be used with messages on top of it, and so again, purpose after even our display is done. It's really good to keep that in mind. Then we have the letter A, which was actually my piece for sustainability. And my inspiration was to do it based off of architecture and furniture. So the idea with a lot of our new big box furniture stores that are coming in, and this idea of disposability and how things aren't necessarily made to last like they used to be made. In this case, I went with a mid-century modern chair. It's actually designed by Charles and Ray Eames. So it in itself has a place in the Museum of Modern Art. So again, taking something very timeless, very classic, giving it new life again because it has been sitting in surplus. Then we have the letter B, and what's interesting about this one here is it's actually, the student was able to have this handmade out of a sheet of metal. And basically what's on the bottom here, these are all car parts, so this weighs a ton. But the top half is actually an interactive portion, so you can answer the question, what step can I take to be more sustainable? And you simply slip that in there. You can ask a question, you can make a statement, you can make a commitment to sustainability, you can do anything like that. Then we have our letter I here, and this one was based off of disposable elements of technology. This was actually made out of bike parts. Mixing an element of sustainability, you know, using renewable transportation, a transportation that doesn't require any use of fuels or anything like that. Then we have our letter I here, and what's interesting about this one, this is actually quite literally living design because it is a live piece, so it's live moss that was essentially transplanted onto pallets by the student. Then we have our letter T here, and these are all empty oil/water jugs. So she essentially just cut them, epoxied them together, and created the letter T. Then we have the letter Y here, and this one was, it's more of a hand sculpted piece, so out of reused quite thick wire, and a little bit less utilitarian than some of the other ones, a little bit more artistic because, again, it was a very raw material, just one long string of wire that was you know, hand molded by the student into a sculptural piece. So that is our sustainability word that we've constructed as a Design 395 class. And it's amazing the amount of work that's gone into it, and really the success that's come out of it, and the reflection that each student has kind of put into sustainability as you know, as a way of life, as a way of thinking, and what they've taken away from it and how they've grown as people as well. So really quite well done, and I'm proud to be a part of it as well.